In 1980, two historians released their works regarding American women following the conflict of the Revolutionary War. The historians, Linda Kerber and Mary Beth Norton, analyzed the lives of women in the 13 colonies before, during, and after the War of Independence, and argue that the war caused a shift in women's self-concepts and led to the growth of women's roles and voice within the household and in other facets of society. It is generally accepted and well known that during the war, women were forced to take on additional responsibilities, such as supplementing the loss of income and managing the family's estate while their husbands fought. Previously, these jobs were the sole responsibility of men due to the colony's heavily patriarchal society. However, and contrary to what previous historians believed, Norton and Kerber found that women in the newly formed United States did not let go of their enhanced roles following the war, and instead, they argue that the revolution represents an indelible shift in women's history and can be considered a starting point for future women's rights movements. Norton and Kerber attribute the growth of Republican and Democratic ideology as a facilitator to the enhancement of women's self-concepts and sense of agency. The historians made use of varying types of evidence to support their claims, such as evolving legal policies that began to grant more rights to women, the increasing voice of women in political and educational circles, and increasing divorce rates and more divorce petitions being filed by women. In my thesis, I intend to extend the methods of Norton and Kerber to a population of women that have been, for the most part, overlooked by historians: Loyalist women. Loyalists represented an estimated one-third of the 13 colonies' population at the beginning of the war, and an estimated 100,000 fled from the colonies and emigrated to places such as eastern Canada, the Caribbean, and England during the war due to their property being confiscated and patriot aggressions. While Loyalist men have been treated to considerable historical scholarship, their wives, sisters, and mothers have not. I seek to determine whether Loyalist women experienced the same effects of the war found by Norton and Kerber, or if their post-war lives share qualities of colonies' pre-war patriarchal society. My hypothesis is that Loyalist women are not synonymous to the patriot woman founded in Norton and Kerber's works, and my reasoning for this is due to the Loyalist rejection of the colony's growing Republican ideology that favored equal rights and independence, and instead support for the continuation of the British Empire's hierarchical and power-oriented form of government. My thesis will focus on Loyalist women from the New England area, an area that was well divided by Patriot and Loyalist populations. I will conduct research on the journals, letters, and other forms of primary documents that belong to 3 to 4 Loyalist women before, during, and after the conflict of the Revolutionary War, and look for any indications of changes regarding the woman's self-perceptions or sense of agency in the specific areas of political, household, and social affairs. I will also investigate public records and determine whether there are any significant changes in divorce rates, birth rates, and other signs of women holding a more substantial voice in their lives. Finally, I will explore Loyalist newspapers and compare them to Patriot newspapers to see how each side discussed women's place in society and to determine whether there are any significant differences. Due to the fact that I will only be studying 3 to 4 women, my thesis will by no means reach a conclusive answer to the lives of all Loyalist women during and following the Revolutionary War. However, it will provide an important look into the lives and beliefs of a previously unstudied population of people. It will also show that the Revolutionary War was not solely a struggle for independence from British tyranny, but also a civil war that displaced thousands of people from their homes and caused decades of suffering to a population of people who considered the American colonies their home.